I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com and NoBSCoachingAdvice.com. I coach people throughout their job search to help them streamline the process and be more effective. I also help folks, once they're in new roles, transition well and support them in their leadership. Now, I'm continuing a series about how to look for a job when you haven't looked for one in a long time. And yesterday I did a video that talked about identifying what you want by first looking at the things that you don't like about your current circumstances. This is the second in the series, and it addresses the question of, okay, now what? And we're at the point where we're looking at resumes and LinkedIn profiles. Now, depending upon how long it's been since you've looked for a job hunting has changed a lot. In days of old, certainly when I started in recruiting many years ago, your resume and your relationships with the doorkeeper going forward, or the gatekeeper going forward. And you used your resume to get all your interviews. You mailed them out, believe it or not, back in the day. Eventually you faxed them, and now, of course, we email them or upload them to applicant tracking systems. Now, you're not a resume writer for a living, but I want you to think in terms of compiling the data for a resume. Think about role, responsibilities, accomplishments. If you're in a technology field, technology utilized. And as you compile the data, I want you to create a lot of information about what you've done, particularly over the last 5 to 10 years. Now, if it's been 25 years since you looked for a job last, 15 years since you looked for a job last, what you did back in the day is less relevant for what someone's looking for you to do today. So focus on the last 10 years tops and compile the information about what you did and how you went about doing it. Now, when I coach people about interviewing, and I'll get to this in another video, I'll tell them, think in terms of telling stories: situation, objective, action, result, or problem, action, result. Either way is fine, but the notion is compile the information into story form. Don't worry about length. I want you to have lots of material here because I don't want you to write the resume. What I want you to do is hire a resume writer. Now, I'm going to have a link in the show notes. This is not me who's writing the resume. I'm pointing you to someone else who can do a good job. And whoever you hire, it doesn't have to be this person, obviously, but I think there's a lot of value in not doing it yourself. Now, once you have it, I want you to think in terms of your LinkedIn profile, because one of the changes that's occurred is that from the time that you may have looked for a job last until now, LinkedIn is very, very important, because what it is the place where firms and recruiters hunt for you. So both your resume and LinkedIn profile have to be very keyword rich based upon the kinds of things that firms look for. Not sure what those are? Go to a site like Indeed or look at job ads in general for positions that you believe you're qualified for, and look at the qualifications and responsibilities for things that repeat themselves, because that's going to give you a sense of what the keywords are that firms are going to be looking for to find someone like you. Do not select words like team player. No one searches for that word. Okay, and I think you know where I'm going with here. Think in terms of role, responsibilities, skills, accomplishments for the keywords. Next thing I just want to bring to your attention is in LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a data dictionary for titles and for certain terms. So for example, whether it's your employer's name, it's going to start filling out your employer's name as you update your LinkedIn profile. For your job title, it wants to see particular titles. And I'll just use the example of vice president. If you put vice president of whatever it is, the data dictionary may not have the of whatever it is part of it. It may have the vice president title, but not the other part of it. Just use vice president as the title, and in the body, use phrases like what your vice president does. Again, all I'm asking you to do for now is to compile the information that a professional resume writer would use in order to find someone like you. Using information about keywords that you're finding on Indeed or in other places that will help you assimilate all this information. Longer the better. The resume writer will distill it down. And one way you can save a little bit of time is if you have an old resume, it might be useful to pull it out at this time. If you don't worry about it. Again, no one's hiring you based upon work that you did when, I don't know, George H.W. Bush was president. Okay, and it's unlikely that they're hiring you based upon work that you did when George W. Bush was president. It's more likely that you're being hired based upon more recent work than that. So that's the next step in this process, compiling this grand file of information that talks about what you've done since joining your firm. Hope you found this helpful. Hope you give it a great review in, I hope you click the like button if you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook, and you share it wherever you're watching it. And if you want to subscribe to my channel on YouTube to get notified whenever I release another video, click the little icon that's down there. It'll subscribe you and get you set up to receive all my content. Hope you have a great day. And if you're interested in my coaching you through the search, because you're an amateur at this. You know that, right? You may be good at what you do professionally, but around job hunting, this is not your expertise. It's mine. After all, I worked in search for more than 40 years, filled more than 1,200 full-time positions, and you found my video, right? So if you're interested in my coaching, you connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Once we're connected, message me that you're interested in coaching. We'll set up time for a free discovery call. Hope you have a great day and take care.